Welcome to the Squirrel Jesus Easter edition of Comptia SY0-701.
Welcome to the
Squirrel
Jesus.
Fuck, I messed it all up.
East.
Alright, there we go. Start that over again. Welcome to the Squirrel Jesus Easter edition of the Comptia SY0-701 practice exams. We're going to do another practice exam from Udemy here. These are Dion Training's practice exams. I highly suggest, if you're re-watching this video, to pause the video, try to answer the question yourself. I'll do my best to try and show off the explanation on all the ones that I get wrong. I also suggest, maybe getting one of these practice exam bundles yourself. Give it a try, The best way to prepare yourself is to test yourself. But yeah, if you're not into buying courses or buying practice exams and you just kind of want to watch someone do it, you can still learn that way. That way still works for some. But the way I like to learn is basically to teach. I think teaching others is a great way to teach myself as well. And that's pretty much my goal when it comes to this whole field. And then plus I end up learning new stuff too, because other people will correct me or something, I'll learn something. All right, let's get going. We got the Comptia Security Plus SY0. I haven't done one of these in a while. I got to make sure the brain meats are still working because I don't know when I'm going to be taking this test, but I really got to start doing an exam every day. And I probably should do some off camera too, because I haven't. Last one I did was the Taliban baby one, which was 2 weeks ago. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? But it's okay, I've been studying along the way. Got a couple Comptia Security Plus Test Out exam questions. Check those out if you're not a student of Test Out. Those are some excellent questions. And yeah, happy Easter everybody. All right, let's get going. Here I go. For fuck's sakes. Let me just hit begin and let me pause it really quick, make sure it's showing. Okay, we're good. All right. You are a database administrator for a large corporation with a bring your own device policy. This saves the company money, but creates headaches for you. With each new device, the company's network becomes more vulnerable to attack. Yeah. You want to use a mitigation technique that will decrease the exposure. Which of the following mitigation techniques will be the most effective in reducing your exposure? Well, I like segmentation. You can always create a BYOD kind of VLAN. Everybody who brings their own stuff, they go onto that VLAN, and then keep all your internal network devices on a different one. Configuration enforcement. I don't know if that's even real. What would that be? Isolation, patching. I'm going to go with segmentation. What term is used for a unique characteristic of an organization's infrastructure, business environment, and operational context that can impact vulnerability assessments and risk analysis? Organization's infrastructure, business environment, and operational context that can impact vulnerability assessments and risk analysis. I guess environmental variable? Infrastructure, business environment, and operational context. Dude, I hate these questions. What term is used for any character? I'm going to go with environmental variable. Kelly Innovations LLC is in the process of selecting a new vendor for their cloud storage solutions. As part of the selection process, the IT manager, Jamario, reviews the potential vendors' past financial stability, customer reviews, and history of cybersecurity incidents. Which aspect of the vendor selection process is Jamario emphasizing? Sounds like due diligence. It could be supply chain analysis too. Well, maybe not. As part service level agreement, non-disclosure agreement. So it's either supply chain analysis or due diligence. As part of the selection process, the IT manager Mario reviews the potential vendors' past financial stability, customer reviews, and history of cybersecurity incidents. That sounds like due diligence. Supply chain analysis. I don't know. It sounds like he's researching a little bit more than just a supply chain analysis. I think supply chain analysis is more of like in the moment when you're already created the supply chain. We haven't created it yet. We're doing due diligence on figuring out who to pick. Due diligence. Which of the following attributes of actors refers to the amount of equipment that a threat actor has at their disposal? I guess resource and funding, right? That sounds right. Equipment at their disposal. Internal, external, motivations, levels of sophistication, capability. I think it's resource and funding. In reviewing the audit logs, the IT security team at Dion Trading noticed several unauthorized attempts to read and copy a file that contains sensitive company data. Which of the following is most likely indicated by this finding? Well, they noticed several unauthorized attempts to read and copy. So, indicated, scheduled maintenance, user error, malicious activity, phishing attempt. I guess malicious activity. Unauthorized attempts to read and copy a file. I don't really see, I mean, it could be user error. Maybe the guy just is totally on vacation mode still. I'm going to go with malicious activity though. A manufacturing company produces IoT devices for home automation, including smart thermostats, security cameras, and smart locks. They want to enhance the security of their IoT devices to protect user privacy and prevent potential cyber attacks. Which security technique is not recommended for the manufacturer to apply to their IoT devices to enhance security? Which of the security techniques is not recommended? Secure boot, regular firmware updates, network segmentation, or default credentials? Well, default credentials. Which security technique is not recommended for the manufacturer to apply to their IoT devices to enhance security? I mean, it's good to start off with default credentials. That way the customer knows what they're doing, but you got to change it. Network segmentation sounds great when it comes to IoT devices. Regular firmware update sounds great too. And secure boot, I mean, is there a secure boot with IoT devices? Does my Roomba go through a secure boot process? I mean, if my Roomba had a USB drive and I tried to turn it into an evil Roomba that spat out all the dust and garbage rather than clean it up, yeah, I guess secure boot would be good. We're going to go with default credentials. Even though that's a dumb question, I think all companies should implement some sort of default credential, and then it's your responsibility to change it. Which of the following architecture models is best described as the model that allows developers to write and deploy code without concern for the underlying infrastructure because the cloud provider automatically manages the execution, scaling, and networking? Wow, that sounds great. I guess that's a serverless architecture. Air-gapped network, virtualization. Write and develop code without the concern of underlying infrastructure. That's platform as a service, basically. But what they're asking is the following architecture models that best describes platform as a service. I guess that would be serverless architecture. The IT department at Feels Like Gnome is in the process of implementing a new AUP, acceptable use policy, for the organization. They want to ensure that all employees are aware of the proper and acceptable ways to use company IT assets and the systems to maintain a secure and efficient work environment. What will likely be included in this policy? So let's read that over again. They want to ensure that all employees are aware of the proper and acceptable ways to use company IT assets and the system to remain secure. So we don't want you to do stupid shit that's going to cause a data breach. The guidelines for tagging and recording the company's physical assets, what to do in the event of a security breaches, guidelines about the length and strength of passwords, or whether computers can be used for personal online shopping. I like that one. Don't go on Amazon.com. You're at work. Kelly Innovations LLC is setting up a new office and wants to ensure only authenticated devices can access the wired network. Which of the following solutions would be the most effective in enforcing this requirement? Implementing 802.1x. That sounds good. Stateful firewall. Nah, we're talking about authenticating devices onto the network. Intrusion, that no, IDS is not going to do anything. VPN, I mean remote VPN, remote access. But that's not a wired network. That would be a wireless network. We're talking about access to the wired network. So implementing 802.1x is going to be our choice. We'll use Radius, we'll use LDAP, we'll use something like that. Which of the following best describes the primary purpose of e-discovery in digital investigaciones? So e-discovery is just basically like gathering evidence that is digital, basically. So it sets guidelines for selecting appropriate forensic software tools throughout the investigation. No. It aids in identifying, collecting, and producing electronically stored information for legal cases. Maybe. It provides methodologies to ensure consistent data protection during the investigation process. I don't think so. It offers insights into the potential financial consequences of an incident being investigated. Nah. It's this one. We're identifying, we're collecting, and we're producing electronically stored information. That is e-discovery. What is the process of assessing and predicting the consequences of a proposed change and considering the effects of change on various parts of an organization or system? What is the process of assessing and predicting the consequences of a proposed change? Impact analysis, version control. Damn, I keep forgetting what version control is. Something about it just doesn't stick in my brain. It's not a back-out plan. Considering the effects of change on various parts, not back-out plan. Approval process. That doesn't sound anything to do with consequences of a proposed change. It's either impact analysis or version control. I'm going to go with impact analysis. Totally forgot what version control meant. You are a cybersecurity consultant working with a large enterprise. Oh, God. These fucking long-ass questions, bro. Hey, what's up, you two? Hillbilly Firewood. Hey. Bark, buddy. Buddy, I'm hoping that the crypto drops a little bit because I am ready to buy. But I'm not going to be buying at the tippity top. I'm not FOMOing my way into this, so. Pinky Promise, cheers to you. I saw all your videos of you over in the UKs. That shit was cool. Very cool. I need a vacation myself. Gosh darn it. Thanks for dropping by, you two. Alright. So, I'm going to read this one while it's paused. You are a cybersecurity consultant working with a large enterprise that handles sensitive customer data and financial information. The organization is concerned about detecting unauthorized changes to critical files on their servers and workstations. As a security expert, you recommend implementing a file integrity monitoring, a FIM, solution. Which of the following approaches would be the most effective way to implement file integrity monitoring for the given scenario? Limiting the scope of the FIM to monitor only system files and directories on the servers and workstations. Well, limiting doesn't sound like a good word if we're going, most effective? Yeah, let's start with limiting it. Scheduling a FIM to perform file integrity checks after business hours to minimize resource utilization. Again, that sounds like a weird one to do. Configure the FIM tool to generate real-time alerts for all file changes without any exceptions. That sounds pretty straightforward. Implementing the FIM on a single server to monitor critical files and directories for an entire enterprise. Well, why would you do it on a single server? Maybe you have multiple servers. So I guess we're going with that one. Which of the following is a type of assessment of a vendor's security posture that is conducted by a third party? Ooh. That would it be the right to audit clause? Evidence of internal audits? No, it's not internal audits. We want third party. Independent assessments or internal penetration testing? No, and probably no. I think the right to audit clause is when a company basically says, hey, look, I know we're in business together, but I'm going to hire someone and I have the right to audit you because I want to know what's going on. Which of the following refers to software applications that may be outdated but remain in use because they perform a critical function or are difficult to replace? That would be legacy applications. None of those. What is the primary purpose of a disaster recovery policy? To establish guidelines for securing physical assets, to define acceptable actions of employees in the event of a security breach, to ensure the availability and recovery of critical systems and data, which I like, to outline steps for incident response and handling security breaches. Nah, I like this one. Oh gosh. In your organization, you oversee the cybersecurity of workstations heavily used by the data analytics team. After a round of system updates, you stepped into the main time phase of the secure baselines. The operating system is loaded and a template with essential configurations, patches, and security updates has been applied. Which of the following statements is the most appropriate next course of action to ensure ongoing system security? I have no idea what I just read. What? Implement a routine schedule to keep the configurations, patches, and securities up to date. Leave the workstations as they are until the next planned system update. Instruct users to manage their own security update. No. Redeem the remaining workstations resources to maximize computational performance. I don't know that one. Which of the following mitigation techniques can help prevent exploitation of known vulnerabilities on systems and devices by keeping the software current? Decommissioning, that doesn't sound like you're keeping software current. Patching, yeah, that sounds good. Configuration enforcement, I still don't know what that is. What is that? Is that like a posture assessment or something? Encryption, no. Keeping the software current would just be patching it. You know how like when you go to the app store and all those goddamn apps just keep needing patches? You know how annoying that is? Well, that's what's going on right there. Which of the following terms describes an organization that is inclined to pursue high returns in aggressive growth? That would be expansionary probably. Accepting higher levels of risk, often in fast-changing markets. I'm going with expansionary risk appetite. That means they want to grow. They're willing to take the risk. Neutral is like a combination of these two. It doesn't sound like it. It's expansionary. Which of the following types of threat actors is most likely to have authorized access to the systems they attack? Well, that'd be an insider threat. That's like someone who you trusted that you can't trust anymore. Which of the following terms refers to an operating system that is designed to process data or events within a specified time frame or deadline? Which of the following terms refers to a real-time operating system that is designed to process data or events within a specific time frame or deadline? Industrial control system. I think it's real-time operating system. Which of the following terms refers to an operating system that is designed to process data or events within a specified time frame or deadline? Think of like a Tesla self-driving car. Those kind of have like real-time operating system situations going on when you look at the little monitor they have in there. That would be specified time frames and deadlines. What happened? Gross Games, a multimedia company, is located in a region prone to natural disasters. Which backup strategy offsite offers the best protection against data loss from catastrophic events? Probably offsite. Data mirroring? No. Differential backups? No. Onsite? No. Crosby Building has contracted Nash Smashing, what the fuck, to demolish an old warehouse. Before demolition begins, Crosby and Nash reach an agreement on issues like when the demolition will take place and Who will take care of removing the rubble? What is this agreement called? That sounds like a statement of work to me. You know, you talk about your statement of work, then you put the work order in. But last time I got that one wrong. I don't think it's an SLA. Master Service Agreement. I don't think it's that one. I think it's a statement of work. Which of the following best portrays the policy engine in the context of zero trust? Okay, it executes access decisions based on the policies set by the administrator. Maybe. Handles the creation and modification of access policies. Adjust access permissions based on user behavior. Or ensures the safe conveyance of data after access decisions. No, I don't think it's that. I think the policy engine is kind of like the bodyguard, or like the bouncer at a club. Portrays the policy engine in the context of zero trust. I think it's execute access decisions. Adjust access permissions based on user behavior. I'm going with that one, but I don't know. While analyzing the company's network traffic, Michael observed that a particular software was continuously replicating itself. Well, maybe a worm? Hopping from one system to another within the company's intranet. The software's rapid spread was causing network slowdowns and affecting workstation performance. Which of the types of malware best describes? I would say worm. You are making an appointment to get your hair cut. When you enter your personal data into the website for Dye My Darling, the data is placed in a database and paired with a smaller set of symbols that will represent your data. Sounds like data masking. To access your personal data, your stylus computer will access the database. If an attacker gains access to the computer, they will only see the set of symbols, not your personal data. What method of concealment is Dye My Darling using? Data masking. But it's also a type of tokenization. Damn it. I hate that. So is it obfuscation or is it tokenization? I think it's data masking. Will represent. It's paired with a smaller set of symbols. No, I think it's data masking. Chromasoft, a game company, wants to reduce the public-facing attack surface for their company. They hope to achieve this by using a device that can handle and relay requests for services. Which type of network appliance would be most appropriate for this purpose? A public-facing, wants to reduce the public-facing attack surface for their company. They hope to achieve this by using a device that can handle and relay requests for services. I mean, it kind of sounds like a load balancer. Which type of network appliance would be the most appropriate public-facing attack surface of the company? Could it be a proxy server? No. Handle and relay requests for servers. Proxy server or load balancer? It's 50-50. I'm going with load balancer. The Greedy Pencil, a stationery producer, is considering changing its security enterprise architecture. The most pressing concern is minimizing the paths of potential threats into systems. Which infrastructure consideration are they choosing as the most important? What? Hold on. A stationery producer is considering changing its security enterprise architecture. The most pressing concern is minimizing the paths of potential threats into the system. That would be an attack surface. Which infrastructure consideration are they choosing? I think it's attack surface. Rippled, a drink vendor, is developing a disaster recovery plan to ensure the swift recovery of critical systems and processes in the event of a disruption. They are defining a specific metric, which is the amount of acceptable amount of time. What? Which is the amount of acceptable amount of time it will take to return to normal business? What measures are they defining? Man. So it's either recovery time objective or mean time to repair. Let me see. To ensure the swift recovery, a disaster recovery plan to ensure the swift recovery of critical systems and processes in the event of a disruption. They are defining a specific metric, which is the amount of acceptable amount of time. That would be mean time to repair. It would take to return. Recovery time objective is getting to a certain time frame, where mean time repair is acceptable amount of time it'll take, I think. We'll see. Which of the following threat actors is most likely to have legitimate access to the system they attack? Legitimate access. That'd be an insider threat again. Could be shadow IT too. Which of the following threat actors is most likely to have legitimate access to the system they attack? I mean, could it either be shadow IT or insider threat? I guess insider threat. Which of the following terms best represents the approach that divides a physical network into multiple distinct units to measure traffic and enhance security? Local segmentation, software-defined networking, containerization, or high availability. Best represents the approach that divides a physical network into multiple distinct units to manage traffic and enhance security. Represents the approach that divides a physical network into multiple distinct units. So logical segmentation or SDN is what I'm going for. A physical network into multiple distinct units to manage traffic and enhance. I'm going with logical segmentation. You are a cybersecurity analyst for a large enterprise that has experienced several security incidents resulting from insider threats and compromised user accounts. The organization wants to enhance its security posture by implementing user behavior and analytics, UBA. Which of the following approaches would be the most effective way to implement user behavior analytics for the given scenario? Deploying UBA on all endpoint devices to monitor user interactions and application usage. Implementing UBA on the organization's perimeter firewalls to analyze incoming and outgoing network traffic from insider threats. So insider threats and compromised user accounts. Configure UBA to perform scheduled scans of all user accounts to prevent anomalies. Using UBA to monitor and analyze the activities of privileged users with elevated access rights only. Kind of like this one, deploying UBA on all endpoint devices to monitor user interactions and application usage. I guess that one. Kelly Innovations LLC is hosting an off-site meeting at a hotel. Benjamin is trying to access the hotel's Wi-Fi network. Upon connecting, he's not required to input any credentials, but is redirected to a splash page where he launches his browser. This page requests his room number and last name. Benjamin is aware of the potential threats on open networks and wants to ensure his communication remains confidential. Given this situation, what should Benjamin do to ensure secure communication over the Wi-Fi? Establish a VPN connection after associating with the open hotspot. Use Wi-Fi enhanced open because it uses the Dragonfly handshake. That's not true at all. Connect without hesitation because the splash page uses HTTPS. Or transfer confidential files over email since the splash page is secure. I kind of like the VPN idea. A tech company's devices are pre-installed with malicious software due to a compromise. Alright, that's a supply chain compromise. A tech company's devices are pre-installed with malicious software due to a compromised component from a supplier. What type of security threat does this represent? Supply chain compromise. An e-commerce company wants to protect its database containing customer names and credit card details when sharing it with its marketing team for analytic purposes. The marketing team doesn't need to view the actual data, but requires a data set of similar structure. Which of the following methods is best suited for this scenario? Obfuscation, probably. Data encryption, RBAC, IDS, obfuscation. Dion Training recently set up a new web server for their e-learning platform. The IT team has been tasked with implementing security measures to mitigate potential attacks. Which of the following practices would be the most effective for server hardening? Hold on. Is my mic good? Am I retarded right now? Oh no, I'm using the right mic. Okay, advanced audio device. Good. Good. Hey, Brittany! Happy Easter! Cheers, Brittany. Alright, what did I read? Dion Training recently set up a new web server for their e-learning platform. The IT team has been tasked with implementing security measures to mitigate potential attacks. Which of the following practices would be most effective for server hardening? Disabling unused services and interfaces, implementing a least privilege principle and patch management, setting up a guest account for all users and guests, increasing server storage capacity and the number of servers. Well, I don't like these two. So disabling unused services and interfaces sounds pretty good. Implementing a least privilege principle and patch management for who? IT team has been tasked with implementing security measures to mitigate potential attacks. Nah, I think it's this one. Disabling unused services and interfaces. Which mitigation technique uses software like Windows Firewall or Zone Alarm, what is that, to inspect and control incoming and outgoing network traffic on a per application basis? What is Zone Alarm? I guess host-based firewall? Which mitigation technique uses software like Windows Firewall, a host-based firewall, or Zone Alarm? What is Zone Alarm? I'm curious. Is this like free that I could download and mess around with? Zone Alarm, PC and mobile security software. Interesting. I'm going with host-based firewall. New business, what the hell? A sustainable sugar producer wants to create a fake server. Well, it's honey something that appears to be vulnerable to attack in order to attract attackers. Wow, that's funny. They're a bee company and they want to make a honey something. Which of the following does the company want to create? Well, they want to make a fake server, so it sounds like just a honey pot. It's not a honey file. Fake server that appears to be vulnerable to attack. HoneyNet would be like multiple servers, multiple computers. I think it's just a honeypot. Which of the following mitigation techniques involves using mathematical algorithms to transform data into an unreadable format? Well, that'd be encryption. The management team at Albus Global is working to prepare for potential disruptions like natural disasters and cyber attacks. They want to ensure that they maintain critical business functions regardless of the type of disruption they encounter. What document should they create? Probably a business continuity policy, disaster recovery policy, incident response policy. They want to ensure that they maintain critical business functions regardless of the type of disruption they encounter. They want to continue their business. They want a business continuity policy. Which of the following types of conflict of interests may occur when a vendor has a possibility of earning commissions that could influence their recommendations during vendor assessments? Personal relationships, insider information, financial interests, competitive relationships. Could be financial interests. Occurs when a vendor has a possibility of earning commissions that could influence their recommendations. Wait, which of the following types of conflicts of interest may occur when a vendor has a possibility of earning commissions that could influence their recommendations during vendor assessment? I guess personal relationship. But I also like financial interests. Insider information, competitive relationships. Which of the following best describes the primary purpose of designing sites as zones while deploying or upgrading physical security controls? To simplify the design layout of the site, to increase the aesthetic appeal of the site, to maximize access control for the most secure areas, to reduce costs associated with security infrastructure. Nah. The purpose of designing sites as zones while deploying and upgrading physical security controls. I think it's that one. Which of the following best describes a threat actor whose primary motivation is to obtain unauthorized access to credit card data? Oh, sounds like financial gain to me. Credit card data? Chaos, war, ethical belief. I'm going with financial gain. A financial institution wants to improve its network security by ensuring that sensitive customer data is isolated from its public-facing applications. Which of the following techniques would be the most effective in achieving this goal? Ensuring that sensitive customer data is isolated from its public-facing applications. Data masking? Nah. Traffic filtering? Network segmentation? VPN tunneling? Network segmentation. Create a screen subnet and then put all the important stuff in a more internal subnet. Which of the following control types best describes the capability of systems to automatically revert to their last known good configuration following a power outage or system disruption? Corrective control, directive control, detective control, or deterrent control? I don't think it's these two. Detective or deterrent? It's probably corrective. Directive is more of like having instructions on how to do stuff. Corrective sounds like something happened, we're going to automatically revert to the last known good configuration. We're correcting the situation. At WebDev Inc., Ryan, a software developer, is working on a project with a team spread across different geographical locations. When discussing the project's progress in a team meeting, they realize that two team members have been working on different versions of the same module. Which of the following procedures will resolve the conflict of working on two different instances of the module? Updating diagrams, implementing a version control system? Maybe. Upgrading the software development tools, requiring that, no. Assigning different module, no. Maybe this is what version control means. Got to make sure everyone's on the same version. Read. A network engineer at Kelly Innovations LLC configured an access list to restrict SSH access to the company's internal server. Only Susan, who has an IP address of 192.168.1.100, should be able to use SSH into the server. After the configuration, Sarah, with an IP address of 192.168.1.101, reports she can still access the server via SSH. Which of the following access lists entries might Reed have mistakenly added? Permit TCP any EQ22 host that. Permit TCP host that EQ 2020 any. Permit TCP any host that and that EQ 2020, or deny TCP any. Well, it's not that one. I wonder if it's this one. TCP any host. Any host? These are all specific hosts, and this one's any host. So it sounds like he created a range here. think this is the one that he needed to make. Permit TCP any EQ 2020. I guess we're going with that one. In risk analysis, which method... Here, I want to put a start there. In risk analysis, which method involves assigning numerical values to risks based on financial figures such as costs or potential losses? That would be quantitative risk analysis. Which term most accurately defines the process of checking modifications or advancements in software collections, guaranteeing their security and the absence of vulnerability, particularly in environments with numerous dependencies such as Node.js or Python libraries? Dark web, what the hell? Defines the process of checking modifications or enhancements in software collections, guaranteeing their security and the absence of vulnerabilities, particularly in environments with numerous dependencies. Responsible disclosure program, software inventory management, dark web, or package monitoring. Checking modifications or advancements in software collections. I mean, software inventory management? I'm just guessing. I know it's not dark web. That's such a curveball answer. Responsible disclosure program? I don't know what that is. I don't think it's that. When Shirley is going through her onboarding procedures with a new company, she is told that her department will have the authority to make decisions about their areas of responsibility with minimal input from the chief operating officer, the board of executives, and the CEO. What type of governance does this company use? Sounds pretty decentralized if you don't need all those people. Committee governments, board governments. She is told that her department will have the authority to make decisions about these areas of responsibility with minimal input. I'm going with decentralized. The New York Inquirer's main headquarters has a diverse IT infrastructure, including servers, workstations, and IoT devices. They have implemented a firewall to protect their internal network from external threats. The organization wants to modify the firewall rules to enhance security and minimize potential attack vectors, which modification to firewall ports and protocols is not recommended for the organization to enhance security. Allowing any outgoing traffic to any destination? Yeah, that sounds like something you don't want to do. Enabling stateful inspection for packet filtering, implementing port forwarding for remote access to internal servers, closing unused and unnecessary ports and protocols. I mean, these three sound fine. This one sounds like, why? Why would you allow any outgoing traffic to any destination? Which computational method allows for the simultaneous testing of various restoration protocols to ensure swift system recovery after a security incident? Which computational method allows for simultaneous testing, parallel processing, failover systems, cluster computing, continuous backup of various restoration protocols to ensure swift system recovery after security? I think it's parallel processing. Cluster computing, maybe? It's always like a 50-50 on some of these. Manar is reviewing logs and finds that many logon attempts were made using common words followed by numbers or symbols. Each password is attempted on the 20 computers in the accounting department. He suspects that these passwords were generated by an automated tool. Which of the following password attacks is best illustrated by this finding? Spraying. Common words. Each password is attempted on the 20 computers in the accounting department. It's a brute force, but it's spraying because it's 20 computers. Which statement best... Wait. Watch it be brute force, and I'm not reading this question right. Which of the following password attacks? He suspects that these passwords were generated by an automated tool. I feel like it's spraying. Okay. Which statement best describes the significance of safeguarding legal information in an organization? The significance of safeguarding legal information. If legal data leaks, it can result in legal liabilities and harm an organization's reputation. All employees of an organization should access legal data to offer complete transparency. What? Legal information is vital during courtroom trials, so it must be protected while the trial is occurring. Like all other data, legal data is important to organizations and businesses. What the fuck? Like all other data, legal data is important to organizations and businesses. I don't think that best describes the significance of safeguarding legal information in an organization. This one sounds like good. And this one also sounded pretty good. But since we're talking about legality, I'm going to go with this one. Legal information is vital during courtroom trials, so it must be protected while the trial is occurring. This one sounds more like, I don't know, just like finding out a company does something shady. Soylent International employees use many types of devices to connect to the corporate network. Due to the increased security incidents, Soylent's chief security officer has decided to implement network access controls on the company's network. Which of the following choices best explains the reason for implementing network access control in the given scenario? So we're looking for posture assessments. Network access control enables the organization to enforce security policies and controls for all devices connecting to the network. Network access control automatically applies all security patches to devices on networks related to software, ensuring up-to-date security. NAC ensures all network traffic is encrypted. NAC allows employees to access the network. No. So it's one of these two. Automatically applies all security patches to devices on networks related to software, ensuring up to... Or it enables an organization to enforce security policies and controls for all devices connecting to the network. I think it's this one. Automatically applies all security patches. Your posture assessment. So let's say your device doesn't meet the posture assessment. It'll throw you into a quarantine type of network, and then it'll be like, sorry, for you to connect to us first, you need to download this, this, and that. Automatically applies all security patches to devices on networks related to software, ensuring... I think it's that one. Which of the following provides step-by-step instructions designed to assist in routine activities and ensure consistency and compliance within an organization? Step-by-step instructions designed to assist in routine activities. Standard operating procedure, maintenance window, impact analysis, service level agreement. I guess it's SOP. Yeah, you know me. Service level agreement. I think it's that one. Which of the following best describes an example of a hardware supply chain vulnerability? A hardware supply chain vulnerability. Data transmitted over an unsecured network between the vendor's sales department and companies? No. Incorrect configurations in server security settings that are difficult to change? Use of outdated third-party software libraries that is not effectively secured, or compromised firmware in a device that allows unauthorized remote access. I think I like that one. That sounds very hardware-y. That hardware needs an update. Hardware supply chain vulnerability. Incorrect configurations in a security settings that are difficult to change? No, I think it's this one. Use of outdated third-party libraries. Yeah. Sasha, a network administrator for Kelly Innovations LLC, notices increased latency during peak working hours on the company's NGFW, potentially affecting availability. Considering the high complexity of the next-gen firewall, Which of the following is the most suitable solution for filtering user traffic, such as web browser and emails, to ensure higher throughput and availability? Increasing the bandwidth of network connections, deploying a secure web gateway, applying more block rules, or implementing only stateful firewall for user traffic. So, most suitable solution for filtering user traffic, such as web browser and email. I don't know. I want to guess and just say deploying a secure web gateway. I don't know. Which of the following statements best explains the importance of guardrails in automation and orchestration? They replace the need for any manual oversight. They produce boundaries to ensure automated process operates safely. I like that one. They slow down automation to ensure. No. They convert all manual processes to automate. No. This one. Guardrails. They're boundaries. It's like when you drive a car and you see the guardrails. Ugh. Which term best applies to an organization that aims to minimize risk exposure, focusing on cash preservation, maintaining a solid reputation, and meeting regulatory requirements rather than seeking significant growth? That sounds conservative. It might be neutral. Organization that aims to minimize risk exposure, focusing on cash preservation and maintaining a solid reputation and meeting regulatory requirements rather than seeking significant growth. It's either conservative or neutral. Man. Conservative, minimize risk exposure, focusing on cash preservation best applies to the organization that aims at meeting regulatory requirements. I want to say it's neutral, but I don't know. It's one of these two. I'm going to say neutral because it just doesn't seem like the question is saying anything about conservatism. Which of the following best applies to an organization and aims to minimize risk exposure, focusing on cash preservation, maintaining a solid reputation, and meeting regulatory requirements, rather than seeking significant growth, cuts out expansionary. Risk thresholds doesn't really sit well with me. Which term best applies? Risk thresholds? Maybe it is risk thresholds. Which term best applies to an organization that aims to minimize risk exposure? Focusing on cash preservation isn't a risk threshold. So it's either conservative or neutral. Rather than seeking significant growth, I'm going to go conservative. An organization with a significant online presence is concerned about potential security threats and wants to enhance its cybersecurity measures. Which modification to enterprise capabilities would be the most suitable for the organization to enhance network security and proactively block access to known malicious or inappropriate websites? Implementing biometric authentication, disabling file sharing, deploying next-gen firewalls. Probably that one. That one sounds like the best. A large organization has multiple cloud-based applications and wants to enable its employees to authenticate to all of these applications using a single set of credentials. Ooh, They want a standardized protocol that allows identity providers to pass authentication information to service providers and vice versa. Which of the following protocols is most suitable for this environment? I think it's either SAML or OAuth. SAML is like, it's like if you go to Amazon and you want to buy something with PayPal and then PayPal opens up. OAuth, single set of credentials. They want a standardized protocol that allows identity providers to pass authentication information to service providers and vice versa. I think it's OAuth. OAuth is like what I'm using right now with StreamYards. StreamYards communicated with YouTube and said, hey, can I connect to your YouTube, please, so you can live stream? Standardized protocol that allows identity providers to pass authentication information to service providers. Service providers is StreamYards. Identity providers would be, I guess, YouTube. They want a standardized allow identity providers to pass authentication information and vice versa. I think it's OAuth. Jamario, the network analyst at Kelly Innovations LLC, was analyzing the network traffic when he stumbled upon a peculiar pattern. He noticed that certain network patches seemed to be repeated verbatim at irregular intervals. Certain network packets. These duplicate packets, when matched with the server logs, corresponded to prior legitimate requests made by users, but were being resent without any user intervention. Should the following best categorizes this type of attack Jamario detected on Kelly Innovations? Maybe a replay attack? Port scanning, on-path attack. I don't know, go with replay. Which of the following types of threat actors are most likely to have extensive knowledge of hacking techniques? Sophisticated cyber criminals and advanced persistent threats. Extensive knowledge of hacking techniques. Insider threat doesn't necessarily mean you're super smart at being a hacker. It just means that you are taking advantage of your position. Everything else sounds pretty script kiddie and unskilled hacker. Nah. Wait, they wanted two, right? Select two? Okay. Which of the following best explains the differences between CVSS and CVE in the context of vulnerability management? So this is a scoring chart, and this is like the information. CVSS provides a standardized system for rating vulnerabilities, while CVE is a database for storing known vulnerabilities. I like that one. Is a list of unique identifiers for publicly known? No. CVSS is a government organization responsible for? No. CVSS is an international database for storing hardware, software, and what? No. It's this one. In the context of compliance monitoring, which of the following does due diligence and due care refer to? Conducting internal audits in the context of compliance monitoring. Conducting internal audits on a regular basis. Reviewing third-party vendor agreements. Automated compliance checks. Taking steps to meet legal and other requirements. You have to do your due diligence. You have to make sure you're not just jumping into the boat, but making sure that the boat is good to go. So that would be, no, it's not that one. Reviewing third-party vendor agreements? I mean, I guess that could be a part of a due diligence. Compliance monitoring? Compliance monitoring, context of compliance monitoring, conducting internal audits. Compliance monitoring, taking steps to meet legal and other requirements. Compliance monitoring. I know it's not automated compliance checks. Reviewing third-party vendor agreements. I don't think that has anything to do with compliance monitoring. Conducting internal audits on a regular basis. I mean, maybe. Man, I do not like the Security Plus exam. Like, Network Plus was more technical. This is just all like, I don't even know. This is all theory or something. It just doesn't sit well with me. At a meeting to develop a risk management strategy, employees of Striped Star Security are brainstorming events that could occur. Annette brings up the political risk of a blizzard, or the potential risk of a blizzard. Since SSS has all its facilities near the equator, it seems unlikely that there would be a blizzard. However, it is possible. The chief security officer declares, if it happens, it happens. Okay, that's acceptance. Let's move on to other events. Which risk... Yo, Annette? Come on, Annette. A blizzard at the equator? How much are they paying you, Annette? How much are you getting paid? Transfer, mitigation, avoid. We're just going to accept it. If it happens, it happens, said the CEO. In risk analysis, which method involves assigning subjective values to risks based on descriptive terms such as high, medium, and low? Qualitative risk analysis? Sounds about right. I don't think it's a risk matrix, unless if responsibility risk matrix is different than risk matrix. Qualitative is like the quality of the risk. Is it a high risk? Is it a medium risk? I think it's qualitative. Which of the following architecture models involves using a combination of cloud and on-premise resources to deliver services and applications? Sounds pretty hybrid to me. Combination of cloud and on-premises? It's hybrid. It's hybrid. Kelly Financial Services has been experiencing unauthorized access to its databases during non-business hours. They want to implement a control that only allows access to critical systems between 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday to reduce the risk. Reduce the chances of unauthorized or malicious activity. Which of the following security measures can best address this concern? Intrusion detection systems, implementing data masking protocols, mandating multi-factor authentication, implementing time of day restrictions. I mean, that just sounds, I mean, I don't even think you needed to study this crap to know that that's probably the right answer. Hair in There, an online beauty supply store, has conducted a comprehensive risk assessment and identified potential vulnerabilities in their network infrastructure. They recognize that another global pandemic would seriously harm their business and is a considerable risk. After careful analysis, they determined that they simply cannot control whether another pandemic occurs. They take measures to help reduce the type of damage a pandemic will cause and then hope that it doesn't happen. Which risk management strategy are they employing? Which risk management strategy are they employing? Sounds just like mitigate, you know. They kind of accept it, but they're going to take measures to help reduce the type of damages that it'll cause. So a mitigate. They're not transferring it. They can't avoid it. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Which of the following is the primary advantage of implementing automation to secure operational tasks? Efficiency in handling repetitive tasks. Sounds good. Enhanced protection from zero-day vulnerabilities. Not true. Increased team communication. I mean, maybe if you know if a certain area is automated, I guess you would have increased team communication because you're doing something else. Lowered physical infrastructure costs. I don't think that's true either. Which of the following is the primary advantage of implementing automation to secure operating efficiency in handling repetitive tasks? Take out the human element, no human error. Barzun, a security engineer, is testing the security of new software and finds that it is relatively easy for a user to use the software to gain access to root user credentials on any device that uses the software. Holy shit. Which of the following application attacks is best described by this vulnerability? Gain access to root user credentials. Root user credentials. So it's a privilege escalation. You could technically get you could technically do privilege escalation with a buffer overflow. But they're not really talking about buffer overflows here. Relatively easy. Buffer overflows are not relatively easy either. On any device that uses software. I don't think it's replay. Replay is more of like a man in the middle type of attack. Injection? Maybe it's injection? Which of the following application attacks is best described by this vulnerability? I don't think there's a system to gain access to root user credentials. I don't know. I guess privilege escalation. An organization wants to adopt a technology that allows everyone to view every transaction equally. Probably open public ledger. Ensuring transparency and equal trust among users. Which attribute of cryptographic solutions would best fulfill this requirement? Open public ledger. Private ledger. Digital signature. Symmetric. I think it's open public ledger. Kelly Innovations LLC has identified a vulnerability in one of its systems. However, due to a critical ongoing project, the IT team decides that it's not the right time to apply the recommended fix. Which of the following strategies is the most appropriate for Kelly Innovations LLC to implement? Increase cybersecurity training for employees, conduct a penetration test, migrate all data to another system, or implement any vulnerability exception. Yeah, maybe that one. It's not exemption, it's exception. So they're saying due to a critical, so the IT team decides it's not the right time to apply the recommended fix. Not the right time. We're going to make an exception here. We're going to implement a vulnerability exception on this time, and then next year we'll do it. Sasha, a system administrator at Dion Training Solutions, is looking to enhance the security of her Linux servers by restricting processes to minimum necessary privileges and defining their behavior. Which Linux feature should Sasha most likely implement? I guess secure Linux. That's a guess to me. This is like probably the one thing that hopefully the exam is going to ask me about when it comes to Linux systems, because it's very minimal on this exam. And I think secure Linux is like the only thing I ever learned about it. Which of the following motivations is common among hacktivists? Political beliefs, espionage, service disruption, data exfiltration. No, hacktivists, an activist, political beliefs. I think those two go together. Sasha often travels for work. Her company's secure systems detects her login attempts based on her geographical location, allowing access only if she's logging in from an approved country. This system considers which factor of multi-factor authentication, that it will be somewhere you are. What method of data backup involves routinely creating an exact copy of all data as a safeguard against loss or damage? Differential, load balancing, incremental, or replication? I guess it's replication. Copy of all data. Incremental doesn't sound like all, right? Sounds like increments. Differential is it's kind of like incremental, but it's more of just like like building the blocks higher and higher and higher. Replication makes the most sense here. Create an exact copy of all data. Replication. Sasha, the CEO of Dion Training, is concerned about potential cybersecurity threats. She wants a systematic approach to managing security incidents. So she has had David, the CTO, develop an incident response policy. Which of the following best describes the purpose of an incident response policy? To address the acceptable use of IT resources, no, that's AUP. To maintain critical business operations during disruptions, that sounds like business continuity policy. To outline the steps for handling security incidents and breaches, that one sounds good. To ensure data encryption is implemented, that just sounds like a privacy policy or something. Hamid, a software engineer, is considering using more infrastructure as code within his company. This may be a challenge as a number of employees insist they need their own special configurations and software, commonly called snowflake systems. Which of the following best describes the purpose of eliminating snowflake systems? Well, think about snowflakes. Snowflakes are all different. They're unique. No two snowflakes are alike. So it's to guarantee that repeated calls to the infrastructure result in varied outcomes? No. To reduce the need for manual configuration and patch installations? To speed up the deployment process of new systems? To avoid inconsistencies that lead to security and stability issues? It's most likely that one. For a company implementing a microservices architecture, which of the following considerations is essential to ensure a smooth and efficient setup of the individual services? What? What the hell did I read? For a company implementing a microservices architecture, okay. Which of the following considerations is essential to ensure a smooth and efficient setup of the individual services? Supply chain vulnerabilities, hybrid considerations, ease of deployment. I mean, is that just, is that it? Real-time operating system. I guess ease of deployment. Kelly Innovations LLC is keen on adopting technology to ensure the integrity and transparency of its financial transactions. They are looking for a solution where each transaction record is secured using cryptography, and the hash value of one record is used in the hash calculation of the next. Which of the following technologies would be most suitable for this requirement? They're looking for a solution where each transaction record is secured using cryptography. The hash value of one record is used in the hash calculation of the next. So, I don't know. I don't think I understand this question. Which of the following technology would be the most? There's many different types of public key infrastructures, so that one seems like the best one. Digital watermarking sounds cool. I don't think it's the right answer. It might be, but I don't know. Gerald, the IT manager, is implementing a system where employees must have a token to gain access to certain areas within the company's building. What of the following would best explain the type of physical security they are implementing? Access badges, access control vestibules, video surveillance, or fencing? Access badges. Which of the following statements best explains the importance of continuous integration for the security of an organization? Continuous integration makes collaboration of security teams and developers easier. Continuous integration automatically generates regular backups of critical data and encrypts them. Continuous integration automates the process of updating and patching software, or continuous integrations allows for real-time monitoring of network activities. I think it's this one. Continuous integration makes collaboration of security teams and developers easier. Continuously integrating your systems into the next digital age. Like this one just sounds right. Continuously automatically generates regular no, it doesn't do anything with backups. Automates the process of updating and patching software. Continuously allows for real-time monitoring and network activities. No, that's not it either. It's not those two. Continuous integration automates the process of updating and patching. I don't think it's that one either. Dion Training's IT department realized that during a hardware failure incident, they struggled to find necessary information about the affected assets, such as warranty statuses, location, and responsibility personnel. Which of the following processes would have streamlined the identification and management of these details? I hate this question already. I don't like these answers because they all just sound the same to me. Proper classification of assets just sounds like a type of inventory management. Proper ownership identification? I don't know. Is that just another fancy way of saying proper classification of assets? I hate these kind of questions. I hate these questions. Hey, what's good? Blames Harden. Hey, is this the real test or practice? This is just a practice test, bro. If it's practice, did you have to pay for it? Yep, I certainly did. I'm looking to take my A+ in a couple months. So we're doing Security Plus right now. Yeah. Hey, good luck with the A+, dude. If you're doing Core 1, you're probably gone right now. I just feel like I'm talking to myself. I don't know. But if you're doing Core 1, just conquer Core 1 and Core 2 will be easier for you. Keep evil witches out of your channel. Hey, it's Red again. What happened? Instantly struggle to find necessary information about that affected assets. So, such as warranty status, location, and responsible personnel. Proper classification, inventory management. Inventory management. Kneading Dough, a retirement planning organization, wants to maximize network availability even if there are errors or intrusions on their systems. Maximize network availability. Fail open. I don't even feel like reading anymore. I'm done. It's fail open. Which of the following best describes a method that assesses software in its running state, often evaluating it for potential vulnerabilities? Dynamic analysis. Jamario, while analyzing the network logs at Beta Labs, observed multiple requests originating from a single IP address targeting the company's login portal. These requests use different alphanumeric combinations in rapid succession. Furthermore, Jamario's review of the server health metrics revealed periods of intense processing demand during these login attempts. Which of the following activities is most likely causing the observations made by Jamario? So, observed multiple requests originating from a single IP address targeting the company's login portal. I guess a brute force. Just the login portal. We're not talking about multiple computers, so it's not password spraying. You received a text message from your bank asking you to verify your account details by clicking on a link. Ooh, SMS-y. The message looks legitimate, but you are suspicious. What kind of threat vector was used in this attack? That would be SMS. Text message. Click a link. SMS. Last question. Which of the following statements best explains the importance of considering technical debt? Technical debt can increase the complexity of long-term security issues, Making automation and orchestration more difficult? Maybe. Addressing technical debt? Explains the importance of considering technical debt. Addressing technical debt helps organizations to automate security operations more effectively, reducing the need for human intervention. Considering technical debt allows organizations to prioritize cybersecurity investments based on the cost of eliminating debt. Technical debt only applies to non-security related IT systems such as outdated software. Only applies to non-security related IT systems, outdated software and hardware. Okay, well, I don't think it's that one. I think it's the first one. Technical debt can increase the complexity of long-term security issues, making automation and orchestration more difficult. Addressing technical debt helps organizations to automate security operations more effectively, reducing the need for human intervention. Addressing technical debt best explains the importance of considering technical debt. Considering technical debt allows organizations to prioritize cybersecurity investments based on the cost of eliminating. Oh, dude, I hate this question. Oh, I hate this question. I don't know. I'm going with that one. I don't know. I don't care. I'm so done. Alright, we didn't skip any. If I'm somewhere in the 70s range, I will be happy. Oh, look at me with an 84. I'm amazing. Oh, shit. Did I not? 1%? What is that? Did I fucking miss? Did I have one unanswered? Skipped. No. Marked for... What did I get? Wait. Did I get that one wrong that was like select 2? No. Wait. All questions. Review. 84 is great. But what is this? What is this -1? Security architectures. Security architectures. Correct, 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 correct. Incorrect. Ah, it was a proxy server. I thought it was a load balancer. Correct, correct. Where did I get partial credit? Why is it... What's with the -1? I don't know. That's weird. Hey, 84 is awesome. Alright, I am going to use the bathroom really quick. When I come back, we'll just quickly put all the wrong answers on screen. So anybody rewatching this, they can kind of pause it, kind of read what's going on. Why do we get it wrong? But hey, I'm proud of myself. 84, that's good. I just hate those questions that are just like so open-ended. Like, I don't know. They're just stupid. Some of these questions are stupid, man. Alright, we'll be right back. Let's get some music on. We'll get some celebratory music on here. So we did awesome. I had a feeling I was going to do good. Let's play some.
Sports are industry as well.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody needs somebody to do their books.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Alright, we're back. We're back. I took an amazing poop. Let's go over these wrong answers. But together! You almost there, bro. You'll get it. Thank you, AR. We're almost there, dude. Almost to that 90. Let's take a look. So, what do we get wrong? We'll go over it together since it's not shouldn't be that many. So this one was a proxy server. I thought it was either a load balancer or a proxy server, but yep. Let's go ahead and just pause the video. Everybody can read. Proxy server stands between the user's computer and the internet. I guess when I saw public facing, I should have just assumed it was a proxy server, because there's public facing and forward facing and reverse facing proxy servers. This one, I didn't like this one. Legal information is vital during courtrooms, so it was this one. Wait, if legal data leaks, it can result... See, these stupid questions with, like... Best describes, in my opinion, if we're talking about legality, safeguarding legal information, what do you want to safeguard that for? You want to safeguard it for a courtroom. You want to make sure that whatever case you have going on won't be dismissible. But here we're talking about an organization's reputation, result in legal liabilities. I guess so. I don't know. Not a fan of that question. Oh, that was just in security architecture. We want to know all. It was configuration enforcement. So, yeah. I think that has something to do with posture assessments. It's just another name for it, maybe. But... Yep, go ahead and just pause the video. This one, yeah, I'm gonna have to read more up on this one, I guess. Dang it, I thought it was right to audit clause. Independent assessments. Independent assessments involve hiring an external third-party organization to evaluate and assess the vendor's security posture and controls. Oh, it was an independent... Oh, like, yeah. Like, think of like an independent journalist or something. I'm an independent reporter. You know, you didn't hire that reporter. He was like from CNN or Fox or something or whatever. So what is the right to audit clause? Right to audit clause is just basically saying, hey, look, we'll work together, but we have the right to know what's going on and to perform audits. A right to audit clause is a provision in a vendor contract that grants the organization the authority to conduct audits on the vendor's security and controls and practices. You might do that through an independent assessment. That's why I thought that's why it was the right answer. Ah, dude, see, I hate getting these type of fucking questions wrong. I knew it was gonna be one of these, but they both sound so similar sometimes that, you know, it was tokenization, not data masking. We already went over that one. Here, this is for tokenization if you want to read that. There's the question. Again, with this recovery time objective and the mean time to repair. I keep getting these two mixed up, dude. Same thing happened in my last exam. What is wrong with me? Implementing a least privilege principle in patch management. Implementing security measures to mitigate potential attacks. Alright, well, I guess that would be the most effective. Maybe I picked the second most effective. Dang, it was... See, I knew it was going to be one of these two again. I always break it down to at least 50-50, and then I always pick the wrong one. It was financial interests. Because they're talking about commissions. So, yeah, that makes sense. But I thought it was a personal relationship. This one, I don't know. I don't think I picked the 50-50, but it was package monitoring. This one we already went over. This one, I thought it was either one of these two, and I picked the wrong one. Enables the organization to enforce security policies. I thought it was applying security patches. This one, oh wow, implementing DNS filtering. An organization with significant online presence is concerned about potential security threats and wants to enhance its cybersecurity measures. I don't know if my audio sounds all messed up with this music playing. Let me turn it down. Which modification to enterprise capabilities would be the most suitable for organizations to enhance network security and potentially block access to known malicious or inappropriate websites? Yeah, DNS filtering does make sense. I think I just overthought the question, but yeah, if you want to block a porn website, you want to block a gambling website, you want to block a stock trading website, just implement DNS filtering. That makes sense, but I must have overthought the question. Damn it! See, I knew it was either SAML or OAuth, and I was so convinced it was going to be OAuth. But it was SAML. Fuck. Oh, you know, I was in the back of my mind thinking it was blockchain, but I could not convince myself enough to pick it. So a lot of the ones that I got wrong were just like, a lot of them were 50-50. When I read this question, and out of these 4, I picked 2 that I was conflicted against, and a lot of them were like that. At least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I don't think I thought it was independent assessment. So we're at 8. 8. Yeah, so 8 of them I was able to break it down to at least 50-50, but I still picked the wrong answer. Alright, well there you go. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Hope everybody rewatches it, learn it. I highly suggest if you, if you're going to be taking this exam yourself, like, invest 10-15 bucks into some of these practice exams, and it'll go a long way. Don't get all your kicks over here. You know, you should probably get this exam yourself and test your might. But regardless, I hope this helps anybody studying. You know, I do it too. I go on YouTube and there's a lot of people just like taking exams or doing like practice exam questions, and I like watching it. I like pausing the video, trying to answer it, and then they answer it, seeing how well we both do. And yeah, that's about it. I might do another one today, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to catch up here, but this was the Squirrel Jesus edition, Easter edition. Everybody take care. Squirrel Jesus out.